Thank you, Coach. We are in the Pacific Northwest as we get set for football at CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Minnesota Vikings and the Seattle Seahawks. The first quarter of the season already in the rearview mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Move 58. Right now, you got 58. Number 50. Hey, you block over here.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40.
He's coming. Double up. Back north. He's coming. Double up. You got tape. You got tape. You got big down.
Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss. And now it's 3rd down. So certainly not the start they were looking for here as they come up on a 3rd and 14. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest ones, maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 22. This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Bring it. Alert. Alert for signal. Check.
Wilson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Sheldon Rankins abruptly ends that play with a sack. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
3rd and long. It's Wilson. And that is incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. This is taken at the 23. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, That's what all the guys are looking for.
And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Switch. Check 24. Check 24.
On second down, it's Jones. Jones hit and the ball's out. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line. Not the trend he wanted to start the season with a fumble lost in both weeks 1 and 2. Now, it's not a disaster, but certainly not what he was looking for.
Got to get that fixed because otherwise he shows up on every scouting report. I remember sitting in defensive rooms and hearing the scouting report from my coaches, and if someone had a particular problem carrying the ball and holding on to it, that was noted. Hey, make sure you get a little extra attention to him. Get after the football. He's dropped it the last couple of games.
And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. They get 17 on that one, move the chains, first down Seahawks. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's second and 7. Now Wilson. This is Jennings. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 19.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
They'll run on first down. Saunders. And he'll get this down only to the 18. Brought down by Nate Gary.
That was a really nice play, able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free, and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain. The run only got a yard. Here's second and 9.
I'm 14. I'm coming after you.
Here's Carson. Now Carson fumbles the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. A loss of 2 there, second down.
There's so many things that go into playing the position of linebacker. Some of them are actually subtle. Doing the drill work that you do all the time in practice and carrying it over to the game. Get rid of blockers and get to the ball carrier and knock him down for a loss.
That's caught by Jennings. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. 5 yards that time on the completion. And now it's third and goal.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
Sling.
Fresno.
Check 6 guys. Watch twist. Watch twist. Kill, kill, kill. Whip, whip.
They'll try to run with Carson, and he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. Chris Carson, his first touchdown on the year, as his guys are on the board first here tonight. Well, we had the scoreless first quarter of play. We sure didn't have to wait long into the second quarter to get some action on the scoreboard.
So was the first quarter a feeling out process? I mean, that was an interesting quarter, wasn't it? Because we had some action, we had some good play, just didn't have any points. So now it's game on.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
Let's go, man.
At their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first two drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now, and I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
Now a throw here to his running back, and he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
On second down now, it's Jones. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
So from the 36 now, first and 10.
Right there, 54, right there, 54 Mike. Mike's 5'4", Mike's 5'4", Mike's 5'4".
Working from the gun, Rodgers. He'll get this complete to Cooper Kupp, and able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
And the Vikings first down.
No, 258.
Check. Check it out, please. A little flare. Hatchet.
26. Inside. Hey, wahoo. 319.
From the gun, it's Rodgers. He's going to fire one deep over the middle, and that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down.
Have to give a lot of credit to the defense on that play. They were prepared. Ordinarily, when they take the big shot downfield to the big guy, that's usually a mismatch that the offense is used to winning. But the preparation showed for the defense, and they were able to bat it away.
Check three.
On second down, it's Jones, and he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively, 6 DBs in the game.
Check three. Watch the safety creep.
Right left.
Switch.
Hey, 88. We are going.
On third down, here's Jones. There he goes inside the 30. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means fourth down. They had quite a hole to dig out of there on third and long. Not Able to get the first, but a pretty good size run.
A really good run, but how much confidence do you have in your next play call that you can sell to the head coach? Let's go get it on 4th down. Do you really have a play you believe in, or are you just hopeful? And you got to sell it to the big man before it gets called.
They'll pass up a field goal attempt. It would have been a 45-yarder. Now they'll go for it on 4th.
Over here.
Big ass.
Box it.
Check.
Inside.
The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. The offense here not budging. They're going to fight for it on 4th and inches.
Me and you all day. I'm coming after you. He's checking. Alert 3. Mike's 54.
Hey, check 26.
I got him.
Hey, seam 6.
54 is Mike. Check. Watch 54. I'm coming.
Rodgers going to go on 4th down. And that's caught by Smith. It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the first down as well.
Well, the field goal attempt was well in hand. They had that, but they decided to go for it anyway. Extreme confidence, it looks like.
Yeah, but I bet the defense is going to remember this one, right? They kind of rubbed their nose in it. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
I'm coming after you. 57's Mike. Mike 57.
I got it.
Mike's 57.
Rodgers now on 1st down. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL.
Yeah. 630. Jump out.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? And a movement there coming from the middle of the line.
And you understand he wants to get off the ball quickly, but the ball's right in front of him. He has to watch it move first.
After the encroachment penalty, here's 2nd and 5. Throwing is Rodgers. And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. Jadeveon Clowney showing the explosiveness on the sack.
But nothing takes a start to have a good drive quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Over. You draw corker.
Kill. Turn up. Under 10.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. It's caught. Smith. And they'll rally and stop him short of the 1st down at about the 6. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Now Jake Elliott for the field goal try. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And it bangs off the right upright, no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So we've seen these be tricky from time to time. You know, you've almost got to cut the ball to make it go through. And this time he cut it a little too much, and he sliced it.
Yeah, and he'll tell you, no excuses on this one. It's a kick every NFL kicker should be able to make in his sleep. But your word was definitely correct. He sliced that one, and he'll miss it wide to the right.
Now it's Wilson. This pass to Jennings, and he makes the catch. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going. Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
The last completion actually lost a yard, so now they'll need to convert on third down. Here's Wilson to throw. Steps away to his left. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. The Vikings going to use their third and final timeout as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line.
At their own 22-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops, and if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock down and go to the locker room.
Complete. Smith has it. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Call that a very strong gain of 24. Looking here for Smith downfield. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down. So we've reached halftime with just the lone touchdown here. 7-0 is our score. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman. The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway.
Let's go, son.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ballgame.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
Come on. Watch tight end. Watch
19.
Tight right. Hey. Got four down. He's crashing. He's checking crash. Check 31.
One left. Move the team.
Back. Showing it.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Come on, boy. Yo, 40.
Mike, 55.
One left.
All you get is a headache.
From the 44, Wilson.
That's it, huh?
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Harrison Smith on the safety blitz, able to get the sack.
We are seeing two really confident defenses imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Yeah, absolutely, going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
Is there any way they can find something that can pop, something big to knock them back on their heels?
Wilson to the Seahawks, looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here.
Go.
54's Mike. Check. Watch 50.
Hey, easy.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And he's able to find Diggs. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. 30 yards there, and of course the first down as well. I guess that answers the question of whether or not they're going to try to play conservative and protect this lead in the 3rd quarter.
And I think this is something we're seeing more and more of in the NFL. Teams not playing to protect leads, teams playing to extend them.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30.
Y'all playing.
Want that.
Check 50.
From the gun, it's Wilson. Flush to his right. He'll run it. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain.
Hey, low alert.
Switch it. Come on, switch it.
SOS. 14, find it.
SOS.
12.
Check safety.
On 2nd down now, it's Carson. And he'll be brought down at about the 25 after a pickup of 4.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Hey, switch gears.
Bang out. Gun.
Tight dog.
They run again with Carson. And he's going to get the first down here as he's taken down at the 22. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
I like the look that they just showed there. When you come out in a passing formation, spread things out a little bit, makes it really hard to cover the middle of the field, doesn't it? Because you got to go out to the perimeter and cover those guys.
Yep, exactly. Got some good blocking, too. Helped him pick up the first.
Tighten up.
On 1st down, Carson. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. Now they'll throw it with Wilson. Being chased out left. That's going to be caught. And so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. That one goes for 24 yards.
Watch the run. Check. Crunch.
Let's go double count right here. Double count.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. Chris Carson with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Myers connects on the PAT, and it's now 14-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger. But no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing. And try and get back to where you were to start the half.
57's Mike. Mike 57.
Throwing on first down is Rodgers. He's got Smith here. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. 2 yards, good enough for a first. Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's the Vikings in possession of the football, but they need some points. They're trailing here to start the fourth. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Check 13. Check 13.
All told, it's an even 30 and a first down.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10.
Boxing.
57's a Mike. 57's a Mike. You don't want none. You don't get it. Pick up the ball. Hey, check 24. Watch 24.
Again, they'll throw with Rodgers. This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Brad McDougald. And he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. And remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
Extra point up and through by Myers. And it's now 21-0. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll go again to Jones. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on fourth down.
Let's get off the field.
Hey, Haywood!
Rodgers to throw for it on fourth. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. The Vikings unable to convert here on fourth. And the Seahawks, they'll get the football back in outstanding field position.
Mike
is 15.
Check.
Let's make these babies cry.
They'll run on first down. It's Carson. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Ben Gideon in on the stop.
Well, that's a pretty good drive starter right there, and I don't know, partner, if you're even thinking about sitting on the ball right now. They may just want to run their regular offense.
In plus territory, and as an offensive coordinator, you don't want your team to go into a shell, do you?
No, you really don't, because as soon as you take your foot off the gas, it's real hard to put it back on and mash it, because once everyone's emotions come down, hard to start them up again. So I think you may want to keep them cranking high right here.
Brings up 3rd and 3.
The Seahawks on third down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This time it's 3rd and 3.
Right there. 54. Right there. 54, Mike. Get in the white room.
From the shotgun, Wilson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Anthony Barr drops him for a loss of 10, and it's going to be 4th and long.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And some good coverage there by the kick team as they'll bring him down at the 16-yard line.
At their own 16-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held him to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here. And that's caught inside the 35. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Vincent Smith, 84 yards. And the Vikings are able to cut into that deficit. And here comes Rodgers now as he'll go for the 2-point conversion.
Easy.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. And it'll be intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he breaks it all the way out to the 38-yard line. Great return.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 38-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. They'll throw on 1st down with Wilson. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee.
Ready?
55. Hey, eat. Hey, watch the slant.
There. I'll go special.
Shit. Watch the shit. Let's go. Come on. Shit. Check 9. Slam.
Friday.
On 1st down, Carson. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now 1st and goal.
Brandon, sometimes it just comes down to the power of suggestion, because I know exactly what they said all week long. We're coming off the open week. We'll have the fresher legs in the 4th quarter, and they will wilt when we get to that point. And right now, it appears that they're thinking that exact thing.
Yeah, offensively, they had the bye last week. Defensively, did not. Is that really a big factor? Is that more talk during the week?
I think the more that you talk about it, the more that you emphasize it, the more sometimes it comes true for your team.
That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
I know they've got to be careful not to go to the well too often, but it's a fine line, isn't it? Because sometimes, if you've got success, you want to just keep pounding away.
But no success there. They rallied quickly on the defensive end. And a little bit of space there. Takes it inside the 5 to the 3. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal.
Ready?
Check Mike 54. Mike 54. Go.
Good guys, slow down.
Mike 54.
Now Wilson. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Trying to get their tight end involved finally. That's the first time that they've looked his way. He's kind of been a forgotten man in this offensive scheme.
Yeah, it didn't look his way at all in the first half, and I'll bet you the offensive coordinator made a note at the half and said, let's get him involved because he could be a big-time playmaker for us.
Myers' kick is good. And that will stretch the lead up to 3 touchdowns now. It's a 21-point game. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line.
You ready?
At their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Rodgers going to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock. And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it.
Let's go, defense. Let's go, defense. And here we go. Slam, slam. Right there. 54, right there.
30.
You ain't going nowhere.
They'll go for it. It's Rodgers.
I got you, boy. I got you, boy.
And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Jadeveon Clowney. And now, boy, the ball's going to go over on downs here inside the 10-yard line. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. Now a give, right side. It's Carson, and he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
I've got to laugh here, and I really don't want to because the old school in me is not happy about this score this late, not necessary. But this is Madden, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is how it works.
Rub it in. Have a day.
I mean, what does it matter? These guys who are playing in this game, there are no feelings
Exactly.
there.
They don't have to face the guy. Well, they might if they're in the same room going head-to-head.
But that's
the
about
virtual guys on the screen don't have to face each other after this one.
In that case, run it up.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be taken. Oh, and this is going to wind up a safety. Things are just going from bad to worse now. It's a safety that does him in here, and that is one frustrated offensive unit.
They can't get out from under their own shadow right now. I mean, I know this is the NFL, but could you imagine a college crowd right now? Imagine what they'd be doing. They'd be chanting, "Start the bus," because they think this one is over.
Now the free kick comes after the safety from the 20 as they bring the punter on to try and get some hang time here. Here's Saunders.
That's it, baby. You got to run.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play.
And he loses the football the second time. And the Vikings pick up the football. And that will write a finish to this ball game. So the victory here for Seattle. And they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half to put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people